All right, welcome back to the Crunch Project. Today we're gonna do my first video entry about my career change. And we're gonna do it from my messy office. It's doubling as my dressing room right now because we have limited closet space. So a little organization going on, although it doesn't look like that. All right, this is important to me. I think this is probably one of the most important pieces of what we're doing here. Now again, we have the different parts. We have the mental health portion of Crunch Project, the career portion of Crunch Project, and we're gonna do the physical health, which we already did the long video on that, and I will provide an update separate from this. I feel like it's important to tackle all three pieces at once because they're all connected. So I can't really make the career change if I'm not physically healthy and mentally healthy. I'm not gonna be mentally healthy if I'm in a career that I feel is bogging me down. And I'm not gonna be physically healthy if I'm at home working like I am right now. I need to get out, I need to get moving, and I need to not be occupied 80 hours a week with this. Because if I'm busy at work right now, it means a lot of sitting, and it's just destroyed my body. So all three of these factors need to happen at the same time. So right now, I own a bookkeeping firm. I do taxes, I do payroll, I do bookkeeping, I do some business consulting, and it works well for me. It was extremely profitable last year. To date, at my age, I'm turning 43 in 2 months, was my most profitable year on the books so far. And it bought us the house that we're in right now, and it repaired the house we just bought 11 days after we bought it because it got hit by a tornado. And luckily I had that money there that was available to fix the house. Still a little bit salty about that, but life happens, and thank God we had the money set aside. So it's impaired my ability to open a new business right now a little bit, but it hasn't ruined the opportunity. It's just changed what my startup looks like, and that's okay. If I quit right now, we're not gonna be able to finish it. So we gotta keep pushing forward. One of the things obviously I like about what I'm doing right now is that it's very profitable. I'm experienced in it, I'm comfortable in it. My comfort zone is a little dangerous because sometimes my comfort zone seems a little happier than I'm giving it credit for, because change is terrifying. This change I'm about to do is terrifying. Could I survive just fine in the bookkeeping career? Yes, absolutely. I can finish my life out, but it would be really isolating, and it would be a little depressing and probably not great for my back or my waistline. Oh gosh, I'm kicking everything. So excited, I'm kicking stuff. So I'm gonna have to baby step out of that. There's no way I can close that right now and not completely tank my family. So we're gonna keep that going in the background. But instead of growing my business, I'm going to maintain what I have right now and put my efforts and growth into opening something new. I had this idea, several ideas. I'm full of ideas. You'll find that out. Most of them don't come to fruition, but every once in a while I feel strongly about one that I need to really dig into. Digging into the same feeling I had when I left corporate and decided to freelance with the bookkeeping on my own. And it was gut-wrenchingly terrifying. The last day that I came home from my corporate W-2 job, I had to, I took the train home from Chicago because I live in the suburbs, and I was in pieces. I was that crazy lady crying on the train because I knew something big just happened and I had no idea what the outcome was going to be. And of course, your brain just runs with all the bad, negative possibilities. I feel the same way now about this. I'm not abandoning my bookkeeping at all. That's my bread and butter. But I did think about opening a hospitality type business. And there's a few different ideas I had there, and I just figured I'd start exploring them all and see what made sense. And I think that was the right approach because I've got a lot of new information this week. Initially I thought maybe I could open like a healthy food business, and it would be kind of unique to catering to people who are on these diets, especially wrapping around Ozempic and the semaglutides and all that. I have ran a nutrition business in the past. It was very successful. There was some partnership issues, and it literally got struck by lightning and burnt down at some point too. The recovery there was a little rough, and I never did fully recover from it. So the success I had initially from it was a little sidelined. So I'm trying to tap into that energy again. And I started reaching out to realtors about commissary kitchens and places to do this part-time on the side and what I would need and all the permits specific to where I live, and went on this huge research project. And the brick wall I hit was not having a commissary kitchen that was available. So at first it was kind of a bummer. I started thinking maybe this wasn't a good idea. Well, then it hit me, maybe I need to open a commissary kitchen, because I started searching for one. The closest one is 45 minutes away. They are booked with regulars that have been there a long time. Good luck getting in. There are some establishments here that sometimes rent out their kitchens, but they're going to be specific on what food you can make. They're going to be all off hours and very complicated. And you have to know somebody that knows somebody to get into these. They're not listed. They're very uncommon and they're very difficult to get into in this area. The next closest commissary that would have room to rent is almost an hour away. And again, their hours and availability are a little dicey. You know, they've got regulars that are already taken up all the good spots. Great little business. I loved what they had to offer, but the drive and the hours were just a huge turnoff for me, and I didn't think I could make it work. So circling back, maybe my area needs a commissary kitchen. I'm business minded. I see a need where it's open. Maybe not my first interest, but then I got kind of excited about it the more I thought. It feeds my need to help other businesses. It feeds my need to be around food business. That's what my first family business was, a food business, and I loved it. It did include a bar, and I'm not interested in owning a bar, mainly because I probably would have too much fun with that, and we don't need that. But I found a building. I've been calling everywhere. All the realtors and the health department have been telling me commissary, that is where it's at. That's what you need to do. They've all confirmed that they get these calls constantly. The health department locally has told me that they have a list with at least 75 potential would-be food businesses that are waiting for commissary kitchens to open up. They keep this list almost just to give people a little bit of hope, but she said really they never even hear the commissaries that open. If they do, it's just by chance. It's because they know the owner, or they had an owner call and maybe they're having trouble making their payments and they need to rent out some of their space. It's just very uncommon and definitely never listed anywhere. So I go see a business tomorrow that's no longer open, but it was actually set up initially to be a commissary. But the owner, it sounds like maybe he's a little bit older and he thought it would be too much work for him and he just wants to lease it out. Also mentioned something along, with my business services, maybe a trade for space. So I'm not sure what to expect from it. We're looking at the commissary kitchen tomorrow, which has never opened, ever, not once. The health department seems very familiar with the location and very positive about it. So it almost seems like they want this to work, which means more permits for them, because as a commissary, your renters get their own permits. I'm permitted, they get their permits, so it brings in business for everybody, honestly. And it has an adjoining event space, which I could definitely utilize, and that would be something I would fully enjoy doing. So I think today was a huge step in the right direction. I also have locally sorry, my dogs are going to wrestle every video I make. They're just part of the equation. I had locally a CPA office reach out and they're interested in bringing me on staff. I don't think that that's the route I want to go, but if I feel like I need to boost my income, I may sign a temporary contract for 6 months with them, handle my clients as well at the same time, just double dip. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get your startup money. All my startup money went into fixing the house after the tornado. So yes, my house is adorable now, but that was a really big salty bill to chew on, and that's not what my intention was for that extra money. So hang tight. I'm going to give an update after I go see the building tomorrow. I want to talk more to the guy that owns it and see what his thoughts are, and talk numbers and pricing. I've been working incessantly on this business plan, so we're gonna keep showing up. We're gonna do this thing. Lots of good leads and hopefully a great update tomorrow. So take care.